Hi, I'm Prathamesh Sai, and this is my demo for the third assignment of CS7IS2. The first thing I have to say is that don't run this in a PyCharm IDE, so I would run this in a terminal. And I have these three things below here. So first of all, use that command to activate the virtual environment, which is shown there on the left. And after you've done that, you can run python main.py after you have all the packages in the virtual environment, and you can use your up and down arrow keys to choose options in the interface. There are pre-trained agents in pickle files in the folder, which is shown on the left there, which we will use in this demo. So we can run python main.py, and we see this interface with three different options. The first option is to train a Q agent, second is to run a game, and third is to compare different algorithms. We can train a Q agent for tic-tac-toe, for example, and we can do it for something small like five rounds just for this example, and we can call it test. And after it's generated, we can go back to PyCharm and see that there's two different files, pickle files for two different players that were the Q agents. And now I can show you the second option, which is to run a game manually. So we can do it for tic-tac-toe, and for example we can do it between a default 1 versus a minimax with alpha beta pruning, and we can see it play out here, and we can see that minimax is taking some time and it's 1 at the end. And I can also do it once again for connect 4, and this time I can do it between minimax once again with alpha beta pruning, and I can also do it with the tabular Q learning, and I can pass in the file, the pickle file that I showed you at the start, for connect 4, and it's going to play out here, and we can see who's going to win, and we can see that the board is bigger. It's 6 times 7 rather than 3 times 3. And the third option then is to compare different algorithms. So I can compare, for example, in tic-tac-toe, I can show you 1000 iterations of two different players playing. So I can do default versus minimax or tabular, and I can put in the pickle file name for the tic-tac-toe here, and we can see that it's loading. And what this is going to do is it's going to show a visualization showing how many times each player has won, and it'll also print out data in terms of metrics in the terminal. So when this is shown, we see that the tabular Q learning player was more accurate because they had won more times, and the default one did not win as much, so there's a differential there, and sometimes it does tie. So this is for 1000 rounds, and we can close this after we've seen it and see in the terminal there's some data there. We see the number of wins, for example, for the first player. We also see the average time taken for the first player and the average maximum memory for the first player. And this is all shown for the second player too, and we can see that the second player has more wins than the first because the Q learning agent won more times, and we can also see that they take less time per move, and they also take less peak memory per move too. So yeah, that's my demo. Thanks for watching.